Okay, making a video on the clutch master cylinder. Pretty much when you press the clutch, it doesn't come back. And yeah, it's way up here. Oh, it's a mess. Okay, alright. It's really hard to see. That right there, there's a bolt right there. And then there's another one on the inside. It's super hard to like get the camera up in there. But like right in there, there's another bolt, and then there should be another one somewhere. It's super hard to see, but yeah, there's 2 bolts in there that we need to get loose, and then we can pull the clutch master cylinder out from the engine bay. Open the firewall. I'll show you. Basically, it's all the way. Oh, you know, you see that hose, that random hose that's like way in the back. This thing would just focus. But yeah, it goes all the way over there, and we got to get it out. So best course of action is to disconnect it from the inside. I should probably loosen that line. There's a line right there, right there, where that's one of the hydraulic lines. We should probably disconnect it, so then when we get it off the firewall, we can pull it, because looks like a vacuum hose or something, or yeah, for the fluid. It's flexible, so you can bend it and then pull it all the way out. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna disconnect that, and then disconnect it from inside, and then pull it loose. Okay, I pretty much got it apart. So this goes on the end of the master cylinder. Basically, when you're under there, take out this clip, take that out, pull this pin out right here, pull that pin out, and then the clutch pedal will be disconnected from the master cylinder. And then take a 15 and a 12 to crack it loose right here. The 15 will fit on this. It only goes on like 2 ways because it's only shaped, yeah, so it moves pretty easily. Crack it loose, and then you can take it off with your fingers and just back it out, and then this will come out. Take that out, and then these ones right here, these 2, take those 2 off. I think it's a 14. Oh, it's 12. Yeah, and then it's loose right now, so let's go check on it. Oh man, I'm old. Feeling it. Okay, let's see. In there. Yeah, you hear that? It's loose right now. So all I gotta do is take off that clutch line. Be careful when you're taking it off, because it is brake fluid. So if you get anything on a paint, clean it off with brake cleaner, because it will eat the paint if you just leave it. I put a rag under there, so hopefully that catches everything. But yeah, so I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, so we made some adjustments to, yeah, so the clutch master cylinder is in and everything's tightened down. The adjustment was a bit of a fiasco, but I got it. The trick is to loosen the clutch master cylinder, like put it at the end of its threads, and then when you're putting the new one on, because this one won't fit on there, and then the new one is an aftermarket one. So if you get an aftermarket one, this doesn't spin on the aftermarket one, but on the factory one it does spin, so it'll be a lot easier to put on. But this, yeah, so this, when you're putting on a new one, loosen up the clutch master cylinder like all the way to the end of its threads, like to keep the nuts on there, loosen it to the end of its threads, and then push it back
push it back into the engine bay, and then you'll be able to thread the new one on. You're gonna have to mess with it quite a bit. It is kind of tricky when you're adjusting it to when it's like at an angle. You got to slip it under the clutch. Yeah, you'll know what I'm talking about when you're messing with it. Slip it under to get the clutch pedal in between, because it's a rod. It basically goes like that, like that, up in there, like, hold on. Okay, so basically it goes like that in there. There's a pin and everything. So yeah, you're gonna have to make the adjustment and kind of line it up with the hole. So when you go put it back on, it is kind of tricky to get it between the clutch. Once you do that, just line up the holes, these holes. And there's a hole on the clutch pedal up in there, that where you can put the pin back in. Like you'll know what I'm talking about, like when you're messing with it. Yeah, once you line up the hole, the adjustment it feels right, because like basically I put in a new clutch line. It's a steel braided clutch line, so it feels completely different. But like this little play right here, it is working. It is working properly. And then it gets tight right here. Yeah, like the whole range is working. Yeah, I bled it. There's no air in it. Yeah. So you're gonna have to do the adjustment. Yeah, loosening the clutch master cylinder, pushing it into the firewall, and then screwing it on, and then kind of checking it, like pulling the clutch master cylinder flush, and then checking to see if the holes line up, and then put the pin in. When it lines up, put the pin in, and then tighten everything back up. Yeah, that's how I got the adjustment, because I'm pretty sure you're supposed to measure it, but like it's super tight in there. I can only get one arm in there at a time. Yeah, so that's what I did. You can measure it. There probably is like a spec on it that you can probably look up, and then like just do the measurement and then mark it, and then when you put it on, just put it to that mark or whatever. Or you can mark it before you take it off. I didn't do that. Yeah, it is. Oh yeah, and how I bled it, the clutch master cylinder way back in there. Because I didn't bleed it before I put it in, I pretty much loosened the line. You can kind of see it, the line. I loosened the line where I pumped it, loosened the line, bled the air out from there, and then tightened it back up, and then pumped it again. And then I did that in like stages. So I would pump this one, bleed it out from there, have somebody hold the clutch line or the clutch pedal down, and then I will go over here and bleed it. So I have them pump it again, and then bleed it, and then tighten that back up, and then I'll go back over here. So yeah, so I would pump it. Yeah, pump it, hold it down, loosen it, bleed the air out from here, from up there, and then tighten it back up, and then have them pump it again, and then have them hold it and bleed it from there. Yeah, it's a bit of a process, but that's how I bled the whole clutch system. Yeah, it's a bit of a fiasco, but yeah, it is doable. It is tight under the dash. Yeah, but again, doable. So yeah, good luck.